It's Bree, and today I'm talking with you. If you've been here before, thanks for stopping by. And if you're new here, go ahead and click that red button and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell for notifications, because I know after this video, you guys are going to want to talk with Bree all the time, every time I upload. This is the first episode of a new series here on my channel called Ask Bree, where you guys go ahead and send me questions that you want me to answer. Even though I'm excited to jump into this new series here on my channel, it's very important for me to go ahead and give you guys a quick disclaimer. First of all, I am not Oprah, Dr. Phil, Dr. Oz, or any of the doctors. These videos are purely based off my non-professional opinion. Think of these conversations more as a girl talk or a FaceTime, just friendly advice. Even though I'm not an Oprah or a Dr. Phil, I can be your Wendy Williams, your Tyra. Nonetheless, if you guys ask, I'm always here to answer. Another reason why this is a very exciting video for me today is because this video is sponsored. Celie Hair decided to sponsor another video here on my channel, and I'm really excited to work with them again. Out of all the brands I've sponsored here on my channel, Celie Hair has to be my favorite, only because this is literally my favorite hair that I have received. I mean, seriously. I was gifted with this 24-inch Brazilian straight full lace wig. This is 250 density. The best part about this wig, honestly, is how well the frontal dyes. I mean, when I say from the softness of the hair to the bleaching of the knots, even down to like just the overall shedding. So obviously I've gone ahead and unboxed my wig, but if you guys are interested in making a purchase from Celie Hair, I just wanted to show you that your unit is going to come in a pretty pink box like this. It's going to have all your wig information labeled here on the sides. It does not stop there, ladies. Along with your hair, you also get a pair of lashes. You guys know I love my lashes. I'm always asking you guys to send me lashes, so these are gonna come in handy. You get a mesh wig cap. You also get a cute mirror that I think I'm gonna go ahead and open up right now because it looks really cute. This is cute. Like, marketing on point. If you're interested in shopping this look or learning more about Celie Hair, you already know what it is. Go ahead and click that information in the description box below. And if you're really loyal or really interested, go ahead and use my own personal code listed in the description box, and I'll go ahead and put it on the screen here as well, so you can go ahead and get that discount along with that bomb customer service that Celie Hair is providing. I'm telling you, I've reviewed a lot of hair here on my channel, and Celie Hair is taking the cake so far. So once again, thanks so much to Celie Hair for sponsoring this video. I am so excited about this new series, and it means so much to me to team up with a brand that's tried, trusted, and most importantly, that I believe in. Let's get into it. So I'm not even gonna lie, this is a video that has been highly requested here on my channel ever since I did the scamming sugar daddy story time. And luckily with the Ask Bree series, I can finally answer all you guys sugar baby prayers. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, I went on live stream, and all of us collectively came up with the idea for this series. And following that live stream, I went ahead and posted my personal email so you guys can go ahead and send all your questions, comments, subjects, concerns. So this question was kind of like a lengthy question. It was a really long question, but I'm really happy to kick the series off with this question because I feel like This is just an area that I'm knowledgeable in, that I can give good advice on, and I feel like it's a topic that the girls on the channel want to hear. Before I go ahead and get into this email, because like I said, it is a lengthy one, please remember, before you guys get those fingers moving in the comments below, that this is a community series. This is definitely about kindness and not being judgmental. So please try to put yourself in every person's shoes before, you know, jumping and leaving your comment. Just make sure that you're really hearing this person out, putting yourself in their perspective, because we're definitely not here to judge. And you never know, one day you may be a person sending in your question or your situation, and you would definitely want us to be nice in those comments below. So I just want to go ahead and do that disclaimer as well, that this is definitely a safe space. So please don't think that these comments or this series is about to be similar to the Shade Room. No, we're not doing that here. So the subject line for this email was 19 early life crisis and sugaring. Hey Bree, you can call me Star, and I'm almost 20 years old. To keep it simple, I'm on my own, barely keep in contact with my family for many reasons, dealing with abuse, and pretty broke. I have emergency savings that I will likely have to use to pay for school. I'm almost done with university, but that's about it. Within the last year, I have lost my only friend because she was being mad ungrateful, started and had to end therapy. My apartment caught fire. I got in a car accident and 2 of my family members died. A lot, but I'm still here and trying to get to a better place. I work for about $9 an hour, and so I don't make enough to live the kind of life I want to. However, I am thinking about sugaring to start making more money to pay off debt, become financially stable, and not have to stress over having to dig into my savings to buy groceries and put gas in my tank. I want to go out more and enjoy life, but I'm either not in the mood or am stressed over wasting gas money that I barely have. I feel so detached from myself that it's a little scary sometimes. In your live today, which was I guess last Sunday, you said you fought to be who you are today and are still fighting. How did you find out who you were? And how do you know how to distinguish your true emotions from the noise from other people? I feel so influenced and unsure. Maybe because I was abused in my childhood, physically and verbally. I am so used to not being allowed to give my opinion on things or having them shut down that I guess I stopped from forming opinions on things or just dismissing them from others' opinions so I would not get in trouble. It's annoying as hell, but I lived with my family less than a year ago, so I'm still finding myself. So that's another situation. A man I was introduced to through my university, not a professor or anyone working for the university, looks like a good candidate. But I am being cautious because he used to be my boss after graduate school. He told me secrets and his personal business, so I'm sure he's into me. Plus, he's kind of told me he likes me. He threw it into the convo and kept going like it was nothing. It would be great if he becomes my sugar daddy, and he would be the starting point for me to start seeing several men and making money from all of them to pay off debt, live comfortably, and save money to start my own companies while I'm doing normal work post-graduation. I could quit my job I hate and essentially be my own boss. I work my ass off for paychecks that barely cover my expenses, so working my ass off doing what I want to do should take me far. People tell me I'm a good listener, and being a sugar baby, eventually courtesan, I hope I'm saying that right, looks like a lifestyle I would enjoy. Do you have any advice on how I should approach these situations? It wasn't piping hot tea, but I avoid drama in my personal life like a plague. I just wanted to hear your perspective on this because I know our minds are alike in some ways, but very different in other ways, and I want a new perspective. Thank you for reading this. Sincerely, Pepper. So there was one point in the message when she was like, I don't know who Pepper is. And I was like, girl, who is Pepper? Because at the beginning of the email, you said I could call you Star. So yes, we're going to call this girl Pepper. Pepper, if you're watching this, this is your video, girl. And I like how this is like a layered question. And to be honest, this question I put so much thought into, and I really tried to be considerate, and I really tried to put myself in Pepper's shoes and be open-minded. And that's part of the reason why I was so nervous about doing this video, because I definitely, you know, I don't want to seem like I know everything, and I don't want to seem like I'm telling anybody what to do. So the first question that I want to go ahead and tackle within this whole entire email that was sent to me: how did you find out who you were and know how to distinguish your true emotions from the noise from other people? Okay. Reading your email and understanding how you grew up being verbally and physically abused, I feel like you're going to have to fight a little harder to come to the place that I am at, only because, like I said in my live stream, I'm still fighting to get to that point. I know what it feels like to tiptoe around your words, to be afraid to say what you really feel, to sometimes feel like you're in a comfortable environment. You know, like those moments when you're with your family and you feel like, oh, everybody's laughing, and then you give your opinion and everybody's like, no, you know, like hissing at you and stuff like that. So I 100% get where you're coming from in that sense. And I guess if I had to give you a generic or short-term temporary band-aid of an answer, I would say you have to be selfish. I would say that in order to find out who you are and distinguish your thoughts from other people's thoughts, or separate, you know, your opinions or your identity from the masses, I guess you would have to be selfish. You would have to demand time alone with yourself. You would have to train yourself to speak to yourself differently. And what I mean by that is, a lot of the times when I'm mean to myself, or even when I'm on live and I say something like, oh, I'm ugly or this or that, you guys catch me. And then that's when I realize that that's not my own voice. These are the abusive voices and the abusive storylines that have been fed to me. So first you have to find your voice by changing the way you talk to yourself. So you need to be selfish. You need to identify the voice that is yours, not the voice or the story that has been fed to you that describes you. You need to look within yourself and redefine yourself. Now let's get into the meat and bones of this video. You asked me if I had any advice on the current situation that you're in. Barely making enough money to cover your expenses, no communication with your family, and a potential guy that you could see being your sugar daddy. I mean, he's expressed interest in you. You guys know each other from a previous situation. It seems like an easy transition. Girl, honestly, in a perfect world, it would be ideal for me to tell you that next time you see him, you should slowly but surely bring up the conversation of you guys' relationship transitioning into a sugar baby, sugar daddy relationship. This is the part of the video where I'm not necessarily going to give advice just pertaining to Pepper's situation. I'm going to give generic advice to anybody who might be going through this situation, I mean, because I know if any of you guys have seen my scammy sugar daddy story time, I basically said that the only reason I decided to start catfishing guys on Seeking Arrangement, on the sugar daddy sites, the only reason why I even decided to get into that world in general was because of the fact of financial need. So my first rule of advice that I would give anybody that's thinking about being a sugar baby, or anybody that is in a situation where, you know, you moved from your parents, don't talk to your parents, or don't want to be a burden to your parents. I know there's a lot of reasons why the girls and the gays are considering being a sugar baby, okay? But my first rule of advice is know what you're getting into this for. And my second one is don't be desperate. You really need to sit back and think to yourself, what's the lowest you're gonna go? You really need to set standards and boundaries for yourself before you jump into this world, because you will be taken advantage of. You will be taken advantage of, okay? People could write whatever they want on profiles, and people could say whatever they want to your face to let you in. But once you enter that relationship with that person, people's mindsets change when money gets involved. You know what I'm saying? Some people want to get the bang for their buck. Some people just change, and you really want to make sure that you can feel that out and you can just be comfortable before, after, and during the situation. If I had to go more in depth on what I mean by don't be desperate and know what you're getting into this for, I mean, I would suggest literally, realistically, creating a budget and knowing, okay, this is how much I'm making, this is how much I'm spending. If I'm gonna get a sugar daddy, he needs to be giving me at least this much. I would suggest setting a money limit over a sugar daddy limit, because if you go ahead and do your budget and you know how much money you need, then you can focus on finding that amount versus just finding multiple guys that are offering you random amounts. You know what I'm saying? So figure out how much disposable income or how much additional income you're gonna need coming in, so then you can like really have a better idea of the kind of person that you're looking for. Because believe it or not, you're gonna kiss a lot of frogs, you're gonna meet a lot of weird ass guys, but it's not really gonna sting as bad if you know in the end the kind of guy that you're looking for. Before this video goes any further, I don't know if I have any more essential points than know what you're going into this for and don't be desperate. And I really need to drill don't be desperate into you bitches' heads, because a lot of the comments that I get, oh, because I need the money. Like, I'll tell you guys a story of something that I went through and you'll try to figure out how to turn it into a positive situation instead of just taking the situation for what it was. It was a shady or it was an unsafe situation and I stayed too long. You know what I'm saying? So don't be desperate leads into 3. Be knowledgeable of your safety. Because if you're desperate, then you're not going to pay attention to your safety. You know what I'm saying? If you're desperate and your mind is thinking survival mode and your mind is thinking I need to keep this bill on or my phone is going to go off or I'm going to get kicked out, then it makes sense why, you know, you're going to be a little more flexible with the situations that you're in. It makes sense why a girl who's in a tighter situation is going to be a little more willing to go into a shady situation than a girl that's a little more stable and doesn't really need it like that. Like, a girl has a full-time job who's making like $19 an hour, she's probably not really tripping off if she sees her sugar daddy or not, or if the sugar daddy wants to meet in a hotel versus at a restaurant, versus a girl that's making $9 an hour. No shade to Pepper, but it's just different circumstances. So you know what I would tell Pepper? I would tell Pepper to maybe try to get another job. And I know that's not what you want to hear, but at the end, considering you're already not talking to your family and we're only getting older, you might as well, and I'm saying this from advice, I'm saying this from experience, you might as well set yourself up for financial independence and independence as an adult now. Because you don't want to start depending on guys. Because here's the thing, sugaring is like a lottery machine. Sugaring is like gambling. It's like, yeah, you're gonna lose a lot, but you're still gonna keep gambling, you're still gonna keep investing, because you know that eventually you're gonna hit it big. Just that possibility of hitting it big keeps you coming back. And that's how sugaring is. So one of the things that Pepper said in her letter was, oh, well, if him and I transition to a sugar baby, sugar daddy relationship, then I can, you know, start sugaring with other guys. And I feel like she has it backwards. I feel like if anything, she should start off meeting strangers, people who she has no emotional connection with. It's just, you know, it just feels a little bit safer, only because if you really even look at like rape statistics, not to take it there, but if you look at rape statistics, you're more likely to get raped by someone that you know. You know what I'm saying? So even though you already know this guy, you guys already have a history and he told you he liked you, you don't know how he's going to take it when you're like, hey, I have a relationship with you, but you have to pay me. You know what I'm saying? So that's just like a safety risk, a don't be desperate risk, and I really know what you're looking for. I'm all for a girl that wants to start her business, and I know that that's a lot of like, personally, I connect with Pepper's story so much because a lot of the things that she touched on was just hella relatable. Like when I went into sugaring and the money started coming in and I had a car and I was paying my own phone bill, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna get somebody to invest thousands of dollars in me and I'm gonna start a business. Girl, that business still does not exist because the bills kept coming. You know what I'm saying? You buy stuff that you think you need right now, and it's easy to tell yourself you're gonna put that money away, until you get the money and stuff comes up. Maybe I'm not going to give you guys a step-by-step guideline to how to be a sugar baby, but I will give you a healthy and a realistic mindset and realistic expectations going into this world. So I guess my fourth rule of advice would be realistic. Yeah, sugaring is sex work. It just happens to be the most glamorized. You're rarely going to run into a guy that's going to want to give you sugar without getting any sugar. And that's just being 100% honest. These guys want something out of you. That's why you need to know what you're getting into this for. Nobody's going to pay you just for being alive. And if you meet somebody like that, you've hit the jackpot. But most of these guys, they're not looking for that. They're going through a midlife crisis and they want to feel young again. And they want to use you to feel young again. Okay? So we just need to be realistic about that. We just need to be realistic about the fact that if you want to go into this and you think you're going to meet somebody and they're just going to give you money and they're just going to pay for your books and your car note and gas and Gucci and they're not going to get anything but the presence of your young beauty, you're smoking crack, that's not going to happen. I'm sorry. That's just not going to happen. So please, pretty please be realistic. I would suggest going on Tumblr and reading sugar baby blogs from like 2014, 2013, when sugaring was like, it wasn't as mainstream and girls were just brutally honest. I feel now with sugaring, people don't want to talk about like the absolute truth. People don't want to talk about how crazy these guys are. People don't want to talk about how situations can get weird. You think that you're gonna sign up for one thing and when you actually get there, you realized the only thing that I signed up for was the amount. This situation is definitely not what I had in mind. And that's what you don't want to be in. When you go on dates with somebody, if you get a bad vibe from them, don't hang out with them again. Use your intuition. Use your intuition ties into don't be desperate, which ties into know what you're getting into this for. Have a vision. Have a game plan. That's why I know nobody wants to hear this, but I'm going to go ahead and touch on this again. Consider getting another job before you consider going into this world. Because we as young women, we go into this world with a more naive mindset than the guys. The guys come into this world and, you know, to sign off this video, I just want to say to Pepper, this is your time to shine. I understand that you want to be able to pay your bills and you want to be able to be stable, but that's a part of life, honey. Nobody our age is stable. Nobody young is stable. And, you know, the fact that you don't really have family to lean on, I would just say that because you're finally away from them, because this is your alone time, don't feel alone. Don't feel isolated. You know what I'm saying? Even if you have to find influencers, people like me, even if you have to find a community that you create for yourself online, find that community. But I feel like the universe is telling me to tell you and girls like Pepper or girls like you that this is your time to strengthen yourself. This is your time to really get into yourself, because you had too much time being defined by your family and by the people that know you, and this is your time to define yourself. And you don't want to mess up that journey, or you don't want to, you know, go off course of that journey because you need to pay your bills and this and that. And believe me, I'm not telling you anything that I don't live by, because I understand what it feels like to be in crunch time and to need to pay your bills. But at the end of the day, you sleep with yourself and you want to make sure that you're straight and that you know who you are. So I would suggest to Pepper and to girls like Pepper that just go ahead and find another job. Find another job that hopefully pays more. Finesse your resume, lie on your resume, and maybe get a better job and juggle those two jobs. And then, you know, maybe try to bring him in if you're still not being able to carry your own weight. Then bring him in. But I would say that consider him a last option and make sure that all your mental stuff is straight before you go ahead and take on this guy's mental stuff. Because you got to understand, it's gonna be more than money. You're going to be taking on way more than an allowance if you enter a sugar daddy relationship with this guy. So just keep that in mind. Secure your energy, protect your energy, secure your bag, and make sure that you're doing anything. And honestly, from experience, I will tell you girls a secret. They want to give you more when they see that you're trying more and they see that ambition there. I know you got a job, girl. I know you're working, but just put in a little more effort, because if you're putting in a little more effort, then he won't feel like you're relying on him, and he won't feel like he could take advantage of you or he could just drop you. And that's my advice for Pepper. Honestly, truly, I was really nervous doing this video. But it was really important to me to do this video. There was a lot of parts of her email that I just connected with, and I know I said that before. I don't want to make these videos too long, but I definitely want to give advice from the heart that speaks to a lot of different situations, maybe not just specifically to the person who sent in the email, but to anybody who may be interested by the title or going through the same thing. So I hope that this advice not only helped our girl Pepper, but maybe could have been, you know, of assistance to you as well. If you guys like this video, go ahead and turn that thumbs up blue. Support your girl. Get those fingers moving in the comments below. And remember, be nice. If you guys want to go ahead and send any more questions for this series, I'll make sure this description box is going to be full as hell. But I'll make sure to put my email for you guys to go ahead and send those questions, comments, topics, and concerns over that way, so we can talk about it here on Ask Bree. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Till next time.